everybody, Sly here, and today I'm going to be doing another reaction video, and it's the old top 5 once again, and it's titled The 5 Reportedly Haunted Dolls. Now, we watch one of the episodes, or one of the videos that talk about the most scariest places in the world, and one of them was the Island of Dolls. Well, this video is haunted dolls. So, I know a couple of haunted dolls from, like, real life, well, in the movies, but based on a true story. But let's see if one of those haunted dolls that I can think of, I know one of them was Annabelle. Forget what the other one was. The one I know is Annabelle, but let's see if Annabelle is in this all top 5. So without further ado, let's react to the 5 reportedly haunted dolls.
Hello and welcome to All Top 5s. I've taken a look at some creepy haunted objects from around the world, but I didn't include any dolls, so I can make this video instead.
See,
dolls
that's from the haunted dolls,
image, and this
or the
could
Island
be
of
what
Dolls.
seems to attract the curses, possessions and hauntings to them more than to a lot of other inanimate objects.
It's weird.
Here are 5 cases of such alleged cursed dolls.
Here we go.
Number 5. Joliet.
Joliet.
Joliet is an unusual doll.
Ugh.
That's because she's remained in one family for several generations, spanning more than 100 years. Despite the alleged curse, the family insists on keeping it close. All we really know about the identity of Joliet's current owner is that she's called Anna.
Anna.
Joliet was brought into the family when Anna's great-grandmother was given the doll as a gift from a friend of the family. Anna believes that the friend who gave her great-grandmother the doll was jealous of her and that a curse was born as a result, with the doll at its center. The great-grandmother, who was pregnant for a second time when she received Joliet, gave birth to a boy who sadly and unexpectedly died a mere 3 days later.
Damn.
Years later, when the next woman in the family, that's Anna's grandmother, gave birth to a son, he too passed away 3 days after he was born. This also happened to Anna's mother, and even to Anna herself. In each instance, the woman who owned Joliet would also have given birth to a healthy baby girl who wasn't affected by this curse.
Damn.
Ever since Anna's great-grandmother lost her son to the start of this curse, she would hear crying and screaming coming from the doll in the dead of the night, which she knew belonged to her dead son. When her own daughter lost her son, the doll took his voice too, seeming to cry with two different wailing babies' voices at the same
dying
time.
babies.
This happened twice more, and now Anna hears 4 babies crying in the night, coming from Joliet's case.
Wow.
This is why the family refuses to discard Joliet the doll. They believe that these cries mean the 4 dead infant boys' souls are trapped inside Joliet, and so the doll should be cared for as their sons would have been, were they alive. Knowing your daughter is going to give birth to a son that will die of the curse is a heavy burden to bear, and Anna truly believes this. Who knows? What's for sure is that Joliet seems to be at the center of this mystery.
Damn.
Number 4. Mandy.
Mandy.
This doll is kept in Quesnel Museum in Canada, to which she was donated in 1991. She's over 90 years old,
90
made of
years
delicate
old.
porcelain,
Oh my
and
gosh.
is thought to have come from Germany. Mandy was owned by the woman who donated her for many, many years. She used to keep the doll in the basement in a box, but even so, she often heard Mandy crying in the middle of the night. The woman told the museum about this when she donated Mandy, warning them of her nature. It was when she joined the museum that ghostly things became even more prevalent. Museum employees began reporting footsteps when there was no one else around, and people kept finding their lunches hidden in random drawers in the museum after they'd placed them in the fridge that very morning. Pens and books and other items would also go missing, and oftentimes were never found again. This is all thought to be the doll.
Wow.
Mandy was kept separate from the other dolls because of her mischief. She would apparently knock them over or damage them, causing a mess. For this reason, Mandy has her own display case on the other side of the museum. Another alleged display of paranormal activity surrounding the doll is that of malfunctioning electronic equipment. It's said that it's difficult to photograph or video Mandy because she somehow messes up the footage and equipment, causing many photos taken of her to come out
So
blurred
Mandy
or not
doesn't
at
want to
all.
be taking
People
pictures
who have
or
seen
anything
Mandy
like
in the
that.
flesh or in the porcelain claim that her eyes follow you, and sometimes she blinks. No one
Ooh,
has a
that's the
reasonable
one thing that
explanation
would
for
creep
who
me
or
out.
what could be
Blinking
haunting
dolls.
Mandy the doll, and it's another creepy mystery just left unsolved.
Wow.
Number 3. Letter.
Letter.
This one seems to have some slightly shady facts and
Oh my
different
God.
versions, so take this
Letter.
story with a pinch of salt. The doll,
That's
however,
an evil
is
doll.
very real. Back in 1972, a man called Kerry Walton was investigating an old, supposedly haunted house. Quite why he was there and rooting around beneath the floorboards isn't clear, and that's where the story varies. But he suddenly came across an old doll with a creepy-looking face. He took this ugly thing home
Oh
with
my
him and
God.
kept it, still owning it even today.
That's
He gave the doll the name
creepy.
Letter and found that some strange things began happening around it.
Oh, no
It would
kidding.
move around the room it was kept in by itself.
Oh my God.
And if left in a certain position, when Kerry looked back, it would have shifted in its place. It even has an effect on things around it. When Letter is brought into a room, pictures hanging on the wall often fall off
Wow.
without any explanation. Animals will usually be very, very wary of the doll, attempting to either attack it or run away from it whenever they see it, and people who come into contact with it claim to feel overwhelming sadness and fear. Finally, and most strangely of all, when Letter is taken outside, it's said that it will often rain, even when the weather forecast didn't predict it and it was an otherwise fine day. Some really weird and spooky stuff, but what's the story behind the doll? Well, it's believed
Well,
that
that's the
Letter is
question.
over 200 years old and came from
200?
Europe originally. More specifically, it's said that a Romanian gypsy had made the doll for his son after the son had sadly drowned. The spirit of the dead boy is what Kerry believes haunts the doll to this day, which would explain the sadness and fear that people feel, and may even hint as to why there's a downpour when it's taken outside.
Ah, okay.
I wish I could confirm some of the claims about Letter in this video, but I just can't. Even so, it's definitely a very, very creepy doll.
Well, damn right. That should be number 1.
Number 2. Annabelle.
Annabelle.
You may well have seen the recent
number
horror
2?
films The Conjuring and Annabelle. These movies were based
I
on
remember the
real-life
movie
case of
Annabelle.
the Raggedy Ann doll, Annabelle. In 1970,
That's the original
Annabelle was
doll.
bought as a 28th birthday present for a woman called Donna by her mother. Soon after receiving the doll, Donna found that it would move around her apartment by itself. The creepiest bit for Donna was when she began finding messages written by the doll on parchment, which Donna didn't keep in the house. She went to a medium who analysed the doll, and she claimed that
And
the doll
I
was
know
indeed
one of
haunted,
the
and it was the
two
spirit
medium,
of
the husband
Annabelle
and wife.
Higgins, a 7-year-old girl that was trapped inside. Donna tried to accept and live with this explanation,
they passed
but
away
one
a
day,
few years ago.
Annabelle allegedly attempted to strangle Donna's friend. This was the
That's
final
them.
straw, and Donna contacted the famous Ed and Lorraine
Ed
Warren,
Lorraine, okay.
self-proclaimed demonologists who traveled the USA, studying and exorcising paranormal and demonic entities. When the Warrens studied Annabelle, they
Wow.
agreed that she was haunted, but not by a human spirit. They claimed that the doll was possessed by a demon, and
Yeah.
a dangerous one at that. The Warrens performed an exorcism and took the doll away from Donna's apartment. They claimed that Annabelle's exorcism hadn't worked properly though, as on their way home with the doll in their car, their steering and brakes failed, giving
And
them a
they
near
crash.
miss. Eventually, after several nights of Annabelle escaping padlocked cases, the Warrens built a special glass case especially.
So that way
It
nobody
joined all
can
the
take
other
Annabelle
cursed
away.
and occult items in this locked room, which is now available to visit as an occult museum.
Wow.
Annabelle has never escaped her case since, but the demon's curse seems to live on. I say this because it's said that many visitors to the museum who taunt the doll bring horrible luck and accidents upon themselves soon after leaving.
That's what happened when you
Annabelle is
don't
a
mess with the
really
doll.
Scary doll, but
It's a
her
demon in
infamy
there.
is topped by only one.
So what's number 1?
Number 1, Robert the Doll.
Robert the
If you
doll.
know
I totally
anything
forgot about
haunted
Robert the doll.
dolls, you'll
There
most
he is.
definitely have heard of Robert. A handmade, large,
Oh my God.
unusual-looking doll at 40 inches tall.
He looks like a
Robert wears
sailor
a
man.
20th century USA sailor's outfit.
Yep.
He is also unique in that he is stuffed with wood wool, and he originally had his face painted similar to that of a jester. Robert was initially
jester,
owned by
yeah.
a young boy called Robert Eugene Otto, and it's thought that the boy, actually known as Gene, was the model on whom the doll's image was crafted.
Right.
Gene and Robert were together throughout Gene's childhood, and he put a lot of emotional attachment into the doll.
To the doll, yeah.
He would also blame Robert whenever he got into trouble. Years later in 1974,
Robert Eugene
Gene had
Otto.
died and his house was sold to new tenants, who would
Or
often hear
1900
footsteps
to
in the attic.
1974.
One plumber working for these tenants had heard giggling and was shocked to see that Robert had moved entirely across the room by himself as his back was turned. A
Wow.
reporter named Malcolm Ross described one terrifying moment as he was discussing Robert when he went to visit him. As one
that's
of
his
his
father,
companions
okay.
made a flippant comment about Gene, saying that he was a fool, Malcolm was horrified to see Robert the doll's facial features move, and his expression became one of rage and disdain.
Wow.
He said, "There was some kind of intelligence there. The doll was listening to us." Robert came into the possession of an older woman, Myrtle Reuter, who kept him for 20 years before donating him to the Fort East Martello Museum, claiming he was haunted and he used to move around her house by himself all the time. When the museum took Robert in, they noticed a serious change in atmosphere. As soon as visitors began to come and see the doll, their electronic equipment began to malfunction, and people reported a presence that they just couldn't explain. It's said
because
that
Robert
bad luck
does.
follows those
Oh,
who
I know
taunt
these
or
guys
cause
from
offense to
Ghost
Robert
Hunters.
or his late owner, Gene. Indeed, the museum
Ghost
gets countless
Adventures,
letters from previous visitors who want to
seen
apologize
Robert
to
the
the
Dark.
doll for their bad behavior, asking for his forgiveness. For a single doll to have such a massive effect on people's lives and hold such anger towards them seemingly, it's extremely creepy. Especially when there's never been a proper explanation of who or what resides inside Robert the doll and its purpose.
Wow.
And that's it from all top
Totally
fives for
forgot
this
about
week.
Robert the doll.
Dolls definitely seem to creep me out more than other haunted objects do, and whether it's voodoo, ghosts, demons, or a curse, I don't
Wow.
care. I don't want to visit any of them.
Oh, I don't blame you,
Have you
Steve.
had any experience with a haunted doll? Either one of the ones
Nope.
I've mentioned
Not
or
that
one
I
of
know
your
of.
own? Let me know in the comments. When posting in the comments, please do be polite and considerate of other people's opinions and beliefs. Let's all get along. If you've enjoyed this video, please do click on the like button because it does really help me out. You can subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button for a new video every Tuesday. That's when I release them. So, peace and love to each and every one of you, and I'll see you all next time on All Top 5s.
Gee, that's creepy. I totally forgot about Robert the doll. I know Annabelle, but I forgot about Robert the doll. And then the other ones, you know, Mandy, what was it? Mandy, Judal, if I pronounce it right, and then Letta. Oh, Letta. I mean, that Letta should be like number 2 or number 1, but holy crap. Wow. I never experienced any haunted dolls in my life. If I ever encounter one, that's something that I need to be very cautious about. And that's what happens when you don't mess with haunted dolls that are possessed by demons, or even like human figure, like child and stuff like that. God, that's creepy. Oh well. Anyways, if you guys and girls enjoy this video, give it a like. If you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button for more videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos to come. So, that's all the time I have in this video. My name's Sly, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed me reacting to the all top 5s, 5 reportedly haunted dolls. And until next time, sleep tight.